Hi, Patrick. How are things?
Hi, George. Good. Can you hear me?
I can. Merry
Can you
Christmas to
see
you,
me?
my friend. I cannot see you yet.
Okay, hang on a second. Is
No
that going
worries.
to do it?
Hopefully. And you know what? It's weird. Like I've never had this challenge with Zoom before. This is my second Zoom meeting this morning, and I've got a couple of ways of accessing. Like the one is within my Zoom account, and another is within the email that I get as far as people already on the webinar. So I
Hmm.
clicked on the link, didn't see you. Click back out, click back in. Must have gone back a few times. So hopefully we don't experience this glitch again.
Yep. Hang on a second. Just gonna. I have to activate my camera here. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Um,
So how's everything going? It's been a while since we chatted.
yeah, yeah, busy, but it's all good.
Oh, busy's good.
And I'm in the kitchen here doing I'm multitasking here. So
Yeah, lots on your plate.
yeah, I'm making pancakes for breakfast for the
Oh, very
family.
good.
And yeah, so hang on just a second. I'm
Yeah, I
still getting
appreciate the heads up as far as the price is increasing. So I figure, this would be a good opportunity to get the word out, encourage more people to come on board before the rates actually go up.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think the biggest challenge as always is getting people to actually understand, not just to see it, but to understand what this is and how it
Hmm.
can help. Because most people
Exactly.
will look at it and say, "Oh, yeah, or, affordable lawyers." Like, yeah, really, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I don't need a lawyer. I get that a lot.
You may not need one
So,
now, but if you need one later, it just you want to be scrambling around and then risking the chance of actually paying more than what you should be paying.
well, yeah, and I think that there are two questions to ask people, and maybe you can put them on, when you're launching.
Hmm.
One is, do you have when was the last time you updated your will and power of attorney to protect
Love it.
yourself and your family? And
Exactly.
number two, what do you have in place to protect yourself against identity theft?
That's
So,
huge, yeah, especially with the recent breach with Equifax a few months
oh,
ago.
for sure. So those are the two big ones. And I'm sorry, I'm just still working on trying to get the video going.
Yeah, no worries. Well, as far as like having something in place, say with the power of attorney, because you always hear horror stories happening, like when people don't have a will in
Oh,
place, and then they have to basically fight with the government to get their hands on what's rightfully there. So I'm just want to get
that's right.
information about that, saying on average it takes this much time and this much money to correct the situation that if a person was proactive about it in the first place, they would have saved themselves so many months and then so many thousands of dollars.
So true.
Yeah.
So
So
true.
that info could
Um,
certainly help out considerably.
yep. Yeah. Anything that you can put on there that could bring awareness to people.
Hmm.
Certainly, and I've experienced it firsthand actually. So, the government will take their sweet time in trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
Um,
And you've heard of people getting their accounts frozen and things like that as well.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Well,
It's a
maybe we could
nightmare,
actually,
and people don't realize it.
yeah. Well, and
Go
you
ahead.
said you've had some personal experience with it, so we don't necessarily have to mention your name in my newsletter if you don't want to, but perhaps we can use your situation as an example. Saying a good friend of mine has experienced this, and this is what
Yeah,
happened.
I've experienced it twice actually. The first time was my an aunt, a long lost aunt on my mother's side,
Hmm.
and um, she didn't really have a will and power of attorney, so the government took control over her estate, and then they decided that they searched for relatives, right, long lost
Hmm.
relatives,
Yeah.
because she had no immediate family. It took them 2 years, two
Wow.
years. Yep, they to get it all settled and everything like that. They also they pay themselves out of the
Mm.
estate, and then
Yeah.
they give you what's left over. So
Yeah.
you know,
It's like, why
like,
pay out more than what you have to type of thing.
yeah,
Like, why does the
exactly. I
government get their
mean,
hands into it? It's none of their business.
yeah, that's true, but there has to be, as we say, there has to be a will and power of attorney in place, and there
Yeah.
wasn't.
I
And the
think
second
that'd be
one
a
was,
great example to have.
yep, the 2 years, yeah, it's crazy. And then the other one was my own daughter. Her husband, um, her first husband, actually passed away.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that.
She was 27, 26, and he was 31 or 32.
Wow.
Yep.
Very young.
And yeah, it's crazy. And there's no accident. It was a natural thing. He passed away from.
Mm-hmm.
And
And what a situation to be in. So it's like it's bad enough you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, and then on top of it, the financial side of it, it's like we need money to cover funeral expenses and to survive afterwards. It's like it's our money, but we didn't have things in place. Now that we've got to fight with the government.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. So he didn't have an up-to-date will. He had one, but it was old. And the other thing that a will does is that it forces the two of you to sit down. If you have a couple situation, forces the two of you to sit down and really hash things out. What do we do with the kids, or what do we want with our kids? What do we want with our bank accounts?
Exactly.
What do we have? What don't we have? Like all of these things.
Yeah, make it as clear as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And then because it's so anyway. So with my daughter, it was a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was frozen. Bank accounts were frozen. His bank accounts were frozen.
Yeah.
If it's a joint account, it's different. But he had his own bank account. He had his own business. He had his own tools and things like that. He was an auto mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
And a year and a half, and then the house, like she couldn't sell the house. She couldn't do anything. Everything was frozen.
Wow.
His dad was part owner of the house and stuff, and everything was really locked up for and then finally after a year and a half, she was able to then move forward on things. But like it had it all been looked after, she could have started making some decisions, almost immediately, but she couldn't.
Exactly.
By the way, I have some stuff going on in the background here in the kitchen. If it's too
noisy, okay. That's fine. Yeah. Well, if you can email me with the info either about your daughter or your aunt, and like I said, we don't have to go into specifics because I respect your privacy, but mentioning stuff like that, I could certainly get the point across.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking even as far as the government deciding, like where say the assets go, they may not necessarily look at the type of relationship that the deceased had with others.
That's right. And most people, George, believe that if you pass away, your assets will go immediately to your spouse. Well, that's not true.
I was under that impression.
Yeah, I know everybody is. It's not true at all.
No.
Let's say that and again, the government will take its sweet time, pay themselves out of your estate, and then decide what they're going to do with it. But there's sort of a hierarchy of rules that are in place, and so the spouse will get half of the estate, and the children get the other half. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of the first thing that gets messed up. And then so what happens if your kids are 4 years old or 3 years old? What if your estate's worth $500,000, or his the spouse that passes away? What if that estate's worth $300,000? Mm-hmm. Well, that 4-year-old or 5-year-old gets half of it. Mm-hmm. Now,
and who speaks on behalf of the 4-year-old?
Well, exactly. So the mother would, but it's going to be in trust until that child turns 18, and then they can do what they want. With that money. So is that what people really want? To what's this, as you say, what's the spouse going to live on?
That's right.
If they don't have control of that money in the situation, I mean, even half the house for that matter belongs to that child.
Yeah.
So it really gets complex, and especially these days with blended families and things.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
anyway, that'd be a huge selling point there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I think, as always, as I say, the key is to get people to look at Legal Shield and really think about it, what it is, and how it can help them. The third thing I would say these days is will and power of attorney. Number 2 is identity theft. What do you have in place for that? And number 3 is the 24/7 emergency service that we offer.
Okay.
So,
And
you
I'd like
know,
to learn more about that. So, are there any restrictions on that by any means?
yeah,
Like, can
well,
we call about anything, or is like it's more like say the police detaining you at 3 in the morning,
yeah,
not giving
it's
you your rights or whatever? And,
yeah, it's designed for emergency situations only. So
mhm.
if you decide to divorce your spouse in the middle of the night, you can't call in the middle of the night for that.
Yeah,
But if it's a car accident where someone's been injured, and almost every car accident there's an injury, right? I mean,
correct.
if it's a little fender bender, no. But if it's a real accident,
Yeah,
then
like
yeah,
the
I
car's
mean,
total and someone's on the side of the road unconscious, and you know
yeah,
you
yeah.
have
Even
the
if you
pastor over there flipping out. It's like, okay, what do I do?
And even if people say, "Oh no, I feel all right," they generally recommend you go to the hospital, right? Because you're going to be
Exactly.
stiff and sore the next day.
Yeah, and
So
something could not show up for several weeks or months.
yeah, so let me give you an example of that. I'll give you. I've got a bunch of examples of this
Yeah,
one.
that'd be great to include. That like,
Wow.
whether it's a written thing, say in the newsletter, or even if you would just want to do like maybe a quick video that you could record talking about some of these examples, we can include that link. So I'm open to how to best get the word out about it.
Yeah, actually, the idea of the video is not a bad one. It's just I don't know how to do it. So if you have any ideas on how to do that, and you can help me, I'd be happy
Oh, definitely.
to tell the
Um,
stories.
do you have a Zoom account by chance?
Yeah, with Legal Shield we have one, and I have a free account anyway. But yeah,
Okay. Because you could just set up a meeting just with yourself.
okay,
So
and
that's
then
what I've done with,
I
yeah,
can videotape that.
exactly. And just talk into it and share your own screen and do whatever you need to. And then
Hmm.
once everything's saved and rendered, you can upload to YouTube.
Hmm.
And just a matter of grabbing the URL from that and sending it my way, and using it for your own things as well.
Oh, I see. Okay, well maybe I'll give that a try. And when are you launching?
We're actually
When are you launching? It's you soon, right?
January 2nd, yeah. So I know we've been talking
January
about
2nd.
for a
Yeah.
while. It just glitches here and there as far as the FTC saying like, there's certain words or phrases that I couldn't use on the website and this and that, and have
Of
my
course, of
copywriter
course.
look at it, and then the copywriter does the thing, sends it to the web guy, who takes a look, then send back to JB Zoo, who's posting the package, and
Yeah, it takes
lots of
time.
things.
Yeah, that's it, back and forth. That's okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's just so we could add a video to your website at any point, I suppose, right?
At any time, yeah. So even if we just put in a teaser, like just maybe a written blurb or something, just saying, okay, we do have a video coming up, but here's some basic information until the video is ready,
Hmm.
something along those lines, and it's pretty straightforward. I can certainly talk you through it if you like.
Sorry,
Well, I'm
you
saying
could
like
do what?
what I can do is when we get off the chat today, I can actually
Yeah.
do a sample of me just recording a brief video on my side and explain the steps as I go along, like from the actual recording to the upload to YouTube, and then it simplifies things in your end.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe just send it if you have a chance to send it to me. I can sort of
Mhm.
screen it just before you put it on there. But I
Mhm.
think that there are two things. Number one, asking the questions.
Mhm.
When was the last time, for example, when was the last time you updated your will and power of attorney? And the second thing is telling the stories.
Mhm.
Here's a situation where someone didn't have an up-to-date will and power of attorney.
Mhm.
When was the last time you updated yours? Or
Yeah.
did you realize that the laws in Ontario, are this way?
Mhm.
Like ask the questions, tell the
Yeah.
stories, so people
Love
have
it.
a better understanding, of how it works.
Exactly. And then, like, even with the two examples you mentioned, saying on average, if this happens, this is how long it normally takes to correct the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. So okay. So what if you wouldn't mind, George, just to maybe email me, what I can do from my end,
Hmm.
and what you want to do from your end, and then I can look after that. I'm not sure if I have time today, but I might have time tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, also, you asked me when the prices are going up January. Well, the company said to us, look, the prices are going to go up January the 1st. That's all they said, and they're not saying it, not saying anything else. So it's a bit frustrating because you know, my wife and I are talking about it and say, well, what are we supposed to say to people? You know, prices are going up. Well, but that can mean anything. It could mean that. It could mean it could mean that they're upping some prices, but not all prices. We don't know how much they're increasing prices by. It might be they're increasing the prices in the States, but not in Canada, or in Canada, but not in the States.
Yeah.
Like, we just don't know. So
And
I just put so I just put the email out there to folks saying, look, here's what's happening. And, you know, if you're interested, this would be a good time, because, you know, whatever you sign up for, they lock it in for life. Like, they'll never raise the prices on you for the lifetime of the membership.
Your grandfather, then.
Exactly. So if you sign up, you know, before January the 1st, and the price is $26 a month for the family plan, then it's going to be $26 a month for the rest of your life, as long as you have the plan.
So then I don't have to necessarily do anything on my side as far as keeping my prices constant. I'm already locked in then.
No, you're already locked in. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. The frustrating thing, my friend, is just there wasn't really too much notice between the actual date of the increase and when the message was sent out. If they gave, say, a month's notice or whatever, there could have been a little bit more time to say, think, okay, well, we have some people are kind of sitting on the fence. Here's when we can get into gear.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It was a bit late coming out, and part of that was my fault as well. So, but yeah, it's just the way it is. So, you know, I think, you know, I don't know if you have a list of contacts that you send things out to or not. You could fire it out there. Just an email like I sent to you. You could forward that to whoever. But otherwise, we don't know what the final results are going to be, and we won't know until, I guess, on January the 1st. They're going to on Tuesday. They'll probably make some announcements.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm sure if it's possible to contact them, and if there's maybe enough of a voice behind it, perhaps they can postpone the increase in the prices.
Well, they may, but not because of anything that we're going to say or do.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those guys, they're too big. Those guys it's corporate, big time stuff.
All the red tape and things involved.
Yeah, they're just going to do what they want to do. So, yeah. So that's kind of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to straighten things out, and you certainly clears things up on my side. So yeah, I will send you an email later today. Yeah. And then I can do like a brief recording showing you what I do on my end as far as getting things up and running.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
hopefully it gives you some ideas.
Give me some ideas, and then let me know again what I can send to you. If you want, like I can send 1 story, 2 stories, or whatever, or some details. Just to again put it in an email so I can look at it and think about it a little bit more.
I do like the idea of different stories. So we could do 1 story with this issue of the newsletter, and then maybe the second story in a future issue, like another week or so.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, somebody recommended to me one time that I do like a series of short videos. So we do 1 this month, 1 next month. Do you send out your newsletter once a month?
It's once a week, and I signed up for this program with Ryan Lee. It's 1 email a day, and his whole thing is he provides value on a daily basis, and there's some soft sells within the email. And it's funny with his approach, Patrick, because he took a few days off not sending out the emails, and there's a lot of people that would post things on Facebook in his private group, and also send an email to his assistant saying, "What happened with Brian? Is everything okay?" So he's got that bond with people.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I'd almost think that was too much, once a day kind of thing. But well, if it works, great.
I think a big part is knowing your audience, like you're genuinely watching out for your tribe. Went from there, and he says a lot of people did unsubscribe because they were hearing from him too often, but those are the people that wouldn't be buying from him in the first place. So it's just
everybody's a little different, that's for sure.
Yeah, sometimes you're better off a smaller, more targeted list rather than thousands of people that you never hear from.
Well, you're right there. That's a good point. Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic.
Well, it's great, George. And yeah, I'm sorry I never asked you how your Christmas was and
Oh,
your
everything's
family.
good.
Everybody's doing okay?
Yep, went to the Casino Ramo with my brother and mother on Christmas Day. So it's funny because the first
Oh,
hour and a
yeah.
half drive up there, it was nice. And the last half hour, just
Yeah.
a snowstorm. And it didn't help that the windshield washer fluid was not coming out of my vehicle. So there was a
Oh,
bump, and my allergies
no.
racking up. So I couldn't even see. And I'm the one who's driving.
Oh, oh, oh my gosh.
So I got through it.
That's kind of scary.
Uh, you know what? Things happen for a reason. And
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, I'm not going to intentionally put people's lives in danger, but
Uh-huh.
it forces me to be more focused because with anything in life, like
Yes.
if things come too easy for you, we don't
Yeah,
appreciate it. But if there's a bit of a
yeah, for
struggle, it's like,
sure.
I got through this. So now it's like when I'm driving and something comes up out of the ordinary, it's like, I've dealt with this before and I felt worse. But
I'm glad you made it.
yeah, I keep,
So
you know,
your mom, is it your mom? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so it's my mother and my younger brother. I only have the one
Mhm.
brother. So, my brother Chris drove on the way back just because the allergies were kicking into high gear. But,
Uh,
it's an experience and something funny to tell people over the holidays. It's
well, good.
perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, sir. Well, listen, take care. All the best as we head into this new year, and
You too there.
let's
Say hi to the
let's
missus
keep
for
in
me.
touch. And oh, before I go, I know you're busy, but I
Mhm.
did. I think I mentioned in my email about Detroit coming up next weekend. There's a conference in Detroit,
Correct. Yeah.
and
I
one
would have
in
loved
March.
to. It just, since I just started a new job a couple months ago, it's like, for me to take time off of work with minimal notice, it wouldn't have happened, but certainly keep me
Right,
posted on
right.
future events.
Yeah, well, we have that one coming up in Oklahoma. It's our international convention.
Hmm.
So it's our big one, and I have a line on some tickets for the entire conference for like $40 US.
Wow.
Yeah. So and again we're talking about huge speakers. I mean Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul kind of guy,
Exactly. Yeah.
and all kinds of big names in Legal Shield, and
Wow. I didn't realize
so
that Jack was part of it.
well, he's not, but somehow our CEO, our CEO has this way of getting these guys to speak to us. I don't know. We had um, what's his name? Leadership guru guy,
John Maxwell.
John Maxwell. He was at our last one in September. And so,
Hmm.
how did our CEO get these guys like with little, really, I think little notice within a year or
Yeah.
two, because they've got to
Yeah.
be booked. They've got to be booked up for years.
Definitely.
But no, there was John Maxwell in the
Yeah.
flesh and blood, as they say, and
That's
then
great.
we're coming up for this one in March. Looking forward to that one for sure.
Well, one of the
Um,
things that I've learned along the way, Patrick, and I'm guilty for not following my own advice because I certainly know better. I don't always do better. It's just ask. That's a big part of it.
yep, yep,
And a
that's
perfect
right.
example, even with the contributors that are on board with the package, the way that it worked out is a friend of mine, he was also my chiropractor at the time, Dr. Ken Kanakin, he was holding a 3-day symposium called SWIS, which is Society for Wellness Integrated Specialists.
Hmm.
And I had a booth set up at the trade show where I was acquainted with some of the experts out there, but I didn't really
Okay.
have a close relationship. I said, well, I'm going to have a booth. Is it okay if I carry some of your products over here and this and that? And I didn't do well on a financial sense as far as, say, my return on the investment with the booth,
Hmm.
but the connections I made with the expert, now they're business associates, they're good friends of mine, and they contributed to the package. And people say, oh, you know this guy, you know this guy? It's like, yeah. It's like, how do you know? It's like, we're good friends. We get together for lunch once in a while.
Hmm. Hmm.
So sometimes just a matter like, with your CEO, you put the word out and say, here's what we're doing. Um,
Yep.
and I'm
Yep.
sure, like, say, with big names like Jack Canfield and John Maxwell, they probably had their legal challenges on their way to their level of success. So just say
Oh,
if
I'm
we had
sure.
somebody that's in
I'm
place
sure.
beforehand, could have saved, you know, how much time there. And you figure even
Yeah.
with the situations with your daughter and your aunt, it's like when you deal with the government, they're open Monday to
Uh,
Friday. So what happens is you have a regular job where you're at work during the hours that the government's open.
Yep. Yep.
So how do you really connect with them?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah. All these issues. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, listen. Yeah. So okay. So I'll look forward to your email, and
Mhm.
let's keep in touch. Okay, George.
sounds good. Let's see if we can get together
Awesome.
for a coffee in the near future.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that. Where do you live again? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm in Scarborough, Kennedy, and Eglinton.
Oh, okay. 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 Good
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I'm often in and around that area. So I'll give you a call and see if we can set something up.
Okay, good stuff there, my friend. I
Okay, George.
appreciate everything.
You bet.
Thanks,
Take
and
care.
Happy New Year to you and the missus.
And thanks, you too. Bye bye now.
Thanks. Bye-bye.